My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my ranking of the Ratchet and Clank video games, and I'm only doing the newest 5. There's a bunch of other games like Full Frontal Assault, like the original PlayStation 2 version, etc., etc., but they're either impossible to find or too dated to play, so I'm just keeping it to the newest 5. Anyways, I do really enjoy this franchise. You can really put any one of these games on at any point and have a decent enough time. The gameplay is similar across the board. The weapons, the enemies, they're very similar, but there's enough differences to each one that does allow them to be their own distinct thing. Yes, really enjoyed this franchise overall, but let's begin talking about the worst game in its tools of destruction. Now, playing this game was like nostalgia overload, but man, is it dated in some areas. Like, just the way the game begins, where you're just fixing a vehicle and then all of a sudden the city's under attack, and it just there's a thing called the pacing and build up, and this game is just lacking in that. And you do have some fun, you do got the cool tornado weapon, but this was the game I had the least fun with because there was very few checkpoints. So if you die, you have to go all the way back, and it just got annoying for me at a certain point because there's so many elements that are dated that did make it a bit more challenging, and it's like one of these games that I know I'd never touch again. I would love it to be remade and be made much better, but the way it exists on PlayStation 3, it's just heavily flawed. So that's why it's my least favorite. My now we're into the good ones. So game number 4 is Into the Nexus, and I did have fun with this game. The story is a little rushed. It's over before you know it. The opening section where you're jumping in space just got really repetitive really fast. But I did have fun here. I loved the kind of gameplay when you're in the alternate dimensions, and it kind of feels like an old arcade game. And on top of that, you also got the gravity stream gun, which makes for some cool puzzles, and I love the level of atmosphere here. So those things on top of the traditional Ratchet and Clank gameplay results in a fun but too short of a game. So that's why it's my second least favorite. My third favorite is the Ratchet and Clank game on PlayStation 4. Now you can feel the jump in quality of graphics and gameplay with this one, and it's very nice. It just makes a huge difference. It really does. I had lots of fun playing this game. The story isn't always the strongest. I wish they gave these characters more development and their relationships development as well. But for being a Ratchet and Clank game, it gives you everything you want from it. It's nothing overly great, but it's consistently entertaining, and I had a really fun time with it. Especially the use of the jetpack. That's what really allows this one to stand out. I know it's in. Is that one in Into the Nexus? Yes, I think it's in Into the Nexus as well, but it's handled much better here. So, yes, game number 3. My second favorite Ratchet and Clank game is Crack in Time. This came very close to being number 1 because I just love the time puzzles. They're the perfect level of difficulty where I actively had to think about them, and I had a lot of fun. I love the time bombs. I love the character of Asmus. He has some real depths to him. In fact, this might actually be the strongest story of the franchise because it is exploring a lot thematically about should you change time to be more happy when you put so much of everyone else at risk and having to let go of what's done. I just, it's not anything new, but I still love those ideas. I love the hover boots, that's really fun, and yeah, like it holds up significantly. Like I would love it if this game got remade. So that's why it's my second favorite. But my favorite, I even put in the title of the video, the best one yet, and it's Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Even the jump from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, you feel significantly. This game looks and sounds incredible. And I love the way it plays with all these different dimensions. How you grab onto a portal to teleport, how there's these sequences where you're just flying through all these different Vestas or grinding on the rails of all these different Vestas. I love, just the spaces between time and the puzzles there. I love the Clank puzzles whenever he goes into the purple things. I just think this game takes all the elements of Ratchet and Clank and delivers them the best they've ever have been done. There's a sequence with some real atmosphere, the gameplay is lots of fun, and I like the characters of Rivet and Clip, and how it kind of explores what would Ratchet be like if he didn't have Clank, and how he would isolate himself, and how you gotta let people in. And once again, it's nothing new, but it's done so well here. You really do come to care for these characters. You've got yourself some great action set pieces with that giant warbot. Not the giant warbot at the end, but the one on the mining planet. And yeah, I just feel like this game just had so much new to it while having the best version of old, and yeah, I loved it. So that's my ranking of the Ratchet and Clank games, but what's yours? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon. Gavin, out.